Hello everyone, peace be upon you all. Welcome to this video series where we learn about paganism. And in this video we are going to read a book by Ahmed Al-Jallad called The Religion and Rituals of the Nomads of Pre-Islamic Arabia, a reconstruction based on the Safaitic inscriptions. Why nomads specifically? Because most Arabs were nomads. Safaitic is an ancient North Arabian alphabet used by Arabs living in the region of Jordan and southern Syria. These two regions were the most developed among the Arab regions due to their frequent interaction with Syrians who were more developed. The purpose of this series is to respond to Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, who has written in his book Kashf al-Shubuhat, or The Removal of the Doubts, the following. In the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate, I begin. Now, may God have mercy upon you, that monotheism is to single out God, free as He, from all imperfections, with all forms of worship. And this is the religion of the messengers sent by God to His servants. The first of them, the first of the messengers, was Noah, peace be upon him. God sent him to his people when they exaggerated the status of the righteous people, such as Wad, Suwa, Yaghutha, Ya'uqa, and Nasra. And the last of the messengers was Master Muhammad, prayers and blessings be upon him. And he smashed the statues of these righteous people. God sent him to a people who were given to devotion and worship. In other words, to a people who were devoted to worship, who would make the pilgrimage, give charity, and remember God often. However, they made some of the creatures into intermediaries between themselves and God, and they would say, "We seek nearness to God from them, and we seek their intercession from them with God." Such creatures included the angels, Jesus, Mary, and others from among the righteous people. So God sent Master Muhammad, prayers and blessings be upon him, so that he would revive for them, i.e., the Arabs, the religion of Abraham, peace be upon him, and so that he would inform them that this nearness and this belief that they held and directed through the creatures is the sole right of God, and that it does not befit anyone besides God, neither a near angel to God, an angel near to God, nor a messenger that was sent aside from the Creator alone, with whom there is no partner. What the polytheists already affirmed. The polytheists believed that none sustains and provides but God, that none gives life but God, that none causes to die but God, that none controls the affairs but God, and that all of the seven heavens and whatever is within them, the seven earth and whatever is within them, are all subservient to God and under His command and His compelling power. And if you seek the evidence to show that the polytheists, whom the messenger of God, prayers and blessings be upon him, fought against, used to witness and affirm all this, then recite his, the Most High's saying, "Ask them, O Prophet, Who provides for you from heaven and earth? Who owns your hearing and sight? Who brings forth the living from the dead and the dead from the living? And who conducts every affair? They will surely say, God. Say, will you not then fear him? So, Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab conceptualizes Arab paganism as a sort of monotheism, and that this verse represents all Arab pagans, or at least most of them. But most of the Arabs were polytheists. And the verse that he uses as evidence for them being monotheists is actually talking about henotheists. There is a huge difference between monotheism and henotheism. On one hand, a monotheist believes in the existence of one God. He denies the existence of any God except one. Whereas henotheists may worship primarily one God, but without denying that others may worship other gods. And he himself may sometimes worship other gods, but he has one primary God, the that may be the greatest in his belief. So let's see the actual beliefs of the pre-Islamic Arabs. Ahmad al-Jalad says in chapter 8, Worldview, a Reconstruction, from the facts above, after demonstrating his evidence from the Safaitic inscriptions, he permits himself the following paragraph to speculate on the way the ancient nomads who produced Safaitic inscriptions conceptualized the world and their place in it. He says that they believed that the universe consisted of two primary hierophanies, two sacred things. The gods, Aliha, sentient representations of nature and emotions. So there is a god for storms, god for rain, god for animals, god for the sun, god for the moon, and so on. Representations of nature, god of the forest, god of plants, god of water, lakes, and so on. And emotions like god of anger, god of uh, joy, god of war, and so on. That is on the one hand. On the other hand, we have fate, mana, or mani, a malevolent and deaf force that causes misfortune and death. Fate is ever present, stalking mankind, able to manifest at any moment as an enemy's arrow, a hungry predator, or even as drought itself, dooming the entire land. There are no prayers for many. No inscriptions attempt to petition it for mercy or compassion. The only hope humans had to survive was to seek the intervention of the gods, but this was never guaranteed. The performance of religious rites, the ritual slaughter of animals, burnt offerings, libations, votive images, and pilgrimages motivated the gods to respond to human appeals and to provide deliverance from perils, that is, manifestations of many. Indeed, the regularity of the rains and the alternation of the seasonal cycle depended upon them, upon these religious rites. Baal's Samin could withhold the rains when unsatisfied, providing no refuge for many. Sometimes the gods even concerned themselves with the day-to-day affairs of humans, such as economic justice, vengeance, and the reunification of loved ones. But it was impossible for any person to keep the favor of the gods permanently. When they lost interest and abandoned anyone, leaving their prayers unanswered, death was imminent, and Mani was at the door. So the Arab pagans believed in multiple gods. They did not believe in the God, the one God, the Lord of the universe, whose everything is subservient to him. That belief did not exist, or at least that was very rare. Nonetheless, indeed, some pagans believed in the God, Allah, but he was a deity among deities. He was a deity likely introduced from the West, and Allah can be invoked alongside other gods that he is invoked beside Dasar or Dazar seems to exclude the identification of these two gods as one and the same. C 2816, which is a number for a certain inscription, calls upon him alongside Shay Hakawam and Alet. In Siege 293, the author makes an oath to Allah, whom he calls the living. So we can conclude from this that there was some who believed in God as the greatest or the God, the primary one. They were henotheists. They believed in other gods and they called upon them as well besides God. So the verse is addressing this type of polytheism, not monotheists, not absolute monotheists, such as Muslims. In the next video, we are going to read Paganism, a very short introduction by Owen Davies, published by Oxford. And here we reach the end of the video. Thank you for watching and see you next time.